to our online English class. In today's class, we are going to learn a new lesson, Save Wisely. Already we have learned 2 chapters in the same theme. And today we are going to learn this lesson about savings. Come on students, I am sure you will enjoy this class.
Dear students, let's see meanings of few new words. Cousins, children of auntie or uncle. Car festival, religious ceremony. Wisely, intelligently. Announced, informed. Purposefully, usefully. Siblings, children born to same parents. Determined, decided firmly. Controlled, to suppress. In this meanings, cousins. Cousins means children of aunt or uncle. I have heard some students using the word as cousin sister, cousin brother. You shouldn't use like that. It's only cousins. If it's a girl or boy, you should mention them as cousins and not as cousin brother or cousin sister. Siblings. Sibling means your own brother or sister. Usually in school forms, they'll ask siblings. It means your own brother or sister. Okay, students, now let's start our class. Students, take page number 103 and read the first paragraph along with me. Every year, Kamali and her cousins would visit their grandparents in their native village for the car festival that lasted for 3 days. The entire village will be in a festive mood. The children were the most excited. The family members and relatives would give the children money to buy sweets and toys. The children would buy toys, chocolates, sweets, or packed food items. They would spend all the money and never saved the money at all. Their grandfather felt that the children should learn to save and use their money wisely. So, this year, he announced that the children should save the money they get over the course of a year and spend it purposefully.
Thanks for reading the first paragraph along with me. Now I'll give you the explanation of this paragraph. Kamali and her cousins used to visit her grandparents' house every year for car festival. Car festival means Ther Tiruvila. You would have heard about that, isn't it? So that is only known as car festival. So every year these children, they used to go to their grandparents' house and their relatives used to give money to the children to buy toys, sweets, chocolates, everything whatever they like. And every year these children, they used to buy whatever they need in the festival. That year, Kamali's grandfather called the children and he told them that they wanted to learn to save money. If they save money for a year, by the end of the year, they could buy something which is very useful for them. Instead of wasting their money in this packed food items and sweets and all, they could buy something purposefully what they need. Let's see whether the children listen to their grandfather's advice. Now let's read the second paragraph.
The children were not at all excited by the announcement. Rajan and Mala were the youngest of the kids. They did not take the words of the grandfather seriously. They spent their money on sweets and toys. The other siblings, Jayan and Kaveri, decided to enjoy the festival to the fullest. They bought every type of food available across the shops. On the second day, Jayan got sick due to food poisoning. So he decided to spend the money only on toys. The eldest of the kids were Kamali and Chendil. They were determined to save the money and use it purposefully. So they controlled their desires and saved every rupee they got. By the end of the festival, they managed to save around 300 rupees. Grandfather was so happy to see their effort.
The children were not excited about the grandfather's announcement. Mala and Rajan were the youngest of all. They spent their money in buying sweets and toys. The other two siblings, Jayan and Mala, they decided to buy all the eatables and eat. So on the first day they tasted many eatables, and due to that Jayan got food poisoning. He was food poisoned, so he decided to buy toys for the remaining money what he had. The elder one, Kamali and Chendil, they decided to save the money. They listened to their grandfather's advice and they saved each and every money what they got. They didn't spend anything in eatables and toys. As they didn't spend much money, by the end of the festival, they were able to save 300 rupees. And grandfather was very happy because the children have listened to his advice. Now let's read the next paragraph. Come on.
Now let's see the meaning of these words. Stationery, things used to study. Basic needs, necessary. Clear, to have an understanding. Flutist, person who is expert in flute. Urgently, very much in need. Disappointed, feeling of not getting. Gathered, getting together. Congratulated, praised. Now let's read the next paragraph. Senthil, when he went home, took his father to the nearest post office and opened a savings account. He saved all his pocket money and found new ways to save money, like he started to walk instead of taking the bus. He kept his stationery safely so that he did not have to keep buying them. He reused his old books to save money. Soon his father made him understand that savings is done after using the money for basic needs.
All the children they went home, and Chendil, when he reached home, he asked his father to start an account in post office. His father started an account, and this Chendil started to save his money in that account. Instead of traveling in a bus, he would walk so that he saved the money. He even tried to save money by saving his stationeries. Instead of buying a new notebook, he reused the books. He thought he could save money by this. Seeing this, Chendil's father advised him not to do that. He said, you have to buy whatever you need. Your basic needs should be fulfilled. Other than that, you have to save. So Chendil started saving money.
Let's continue reading. So Senthil bought new books to take notes in his class. Senthil's dream was to buy a camera. At the end of the year, his father checked his savings and bought him the latest camera with his savings.
Chandal understood his father's advice. So instead of saving money from stationaries, he bought new books and he started writing notes. As days passed by, he was able to save a lump of amount. His dream was to buy a camera. So Sendal's father bought him a camera with the money what he has saved. Now let's see what was Kamali doing.
Students, take page number 104 and read the last paragraph. Kamali had a clear plan. She had a friend named Anandi. Anandi's father was a flutist. They lived in the same street, so the girls used to visit each other often. On many of these occasions, Anandi used to teach her to play the flute. Kamali always wanted to buy a flute. At the end of one year, she managed to save some amount. At that time, her father needed money urgently and asked if he could use her savings. He promised to return the money soon. Kamali gave her savings to her father. Although she was proud of helping her father, she still wanted to buy the flute. She was disappointed.
Kamali had a friend named Anandi who was living in the same street. Anandi's father was a flutist and Anandi taught Kamali how to play flute. Kamali decided to buy a flute by the end of the year with her savings. So she saved enough money by the end of that year. At that time, Kamali's father asked Kamali her savings that he needed for his own purpose. Kamali gave her savings to her father. Though Kamali was happy that she has helped her father, she was disappointed too that she was unable to fulfill her dream.
Students, take page number 105 and read the first paragraph. Soon it was time to visit the village. Everyone was happy to meet each other after 1 year. On the day of the car festival, the whole family gathered in the village. Everyone in the family shared about the year gone one by one. After dinner, Sendil brought his new camera and told Grandpa how he had saved and bought the camera. Grandpa was very proud and happy. He congratulated him.
After a year, it was time for the car festival. So Kamali and her cousins, along with their families, visited their grandparents' house. After the dinner, Chendal brought his camera and he showed it to his grandfather. He said he was able to buy the camera by his savings. His grandfather was proud of him and he congratulated him. Now let's read the next paragraph.
Meanwhile, Kamali's father gave Grandpa a gift and said something in his ears. Grandpa smiled and called Kamali. He gave her the gift. Her savings were used to buy the gift. Kamali eagerly opened the box and found a brand new flute. Her eyes were moist with tears. The whole family asked her to play the flute. Kamali played a song that her friend had taught her. Sendil started clicking pictures of the event with his camera.
Meanwhile, Kamali's father gave a gift to her grandfather and he said something in Kamali's grandfather's ears. Kamali's grandfather called Kamali and he gave the gift to her. Kamali was much excited and she opened that box. She was surprised to see a flute inside the box. She was very happy and she started to cry. So the whole family now asked Kamali to play the flute for them. Kamali played a beautiful song while Chendal took photos with his new camera. Dear children, if you want to buy something, instead of nagging your parents and asking your parents repeatedly, you can save little by little. So one fine day you can buy whatever you need. Instead of buying snacks and junk food, you can save that money. Every day a little amount of money, if you save, one fine day you could buy something big. There's a famous proverb, little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. It's true. You can save little by little so that you can buy greater things in your life. So with this note, I'm ending my class. I'll meet you all in my next class. Until then, it's bye from Deepa ma'am.